Today I'm going to be painting this abstract faces painting, but before we get into that, I am now an Amazon affiliate and I also have a Society 6 shop. So if you're in the market for art supplies and you're going to buy them anyway, I'd really appreciate it if you consider using the links that I'm going to be putting down in my descriptions to the supplies that I use. And if you're in the market for anything like coffee mugs, travel mugs, iPhone cases, stationery, things like that with some of my art on it, please check out my Society 6 shop, and also named RLD Studio, so it should be pretty easy to find. I guess I could put a link to that in the description as well. Yeah, so if you're looking to buy those things or are already in the market for something like that, please consider using either the affiliate links or checking out my Society 6 shop. From my understanding, I will only get about a 10% cut of each sale, max. And although that's not a lot, it's something. So yeah, anything that you guys purchase through those links or that shop will certainly go to support me and my channel, and I really appreciate it. One last thing, I'm not 100% sure what the quality of the Society 6 items are. I've never used them. I know a lot of other people do. So if you do purchase something and you're not happy with it, or you feel like the quality wasn't quite there, let me know, please, because I will try to rectify that as quickly as possible. Thanks. All right, let's get started. First things first, I'm using Strathmore multimedia paper. I buy it on big rolls. It's cheaper than canvas, and I love using canvas, but I like to experiment and play on paper. It is a great surface to accept acrylic paint with or without gesso. Yeah, so in the drawing phase, I'm just trying to make interesting faces, interesting shapes, just playing with different lines, straight and curved, to try to create the most interesting, pleasing overall feel I can. And the main goal is just to fill up the paper in an interesting way. I'm thinking about the colors that I'm going to use and what those colors might look like in some of these areas. So I'm trying to create some sort of a balance between the sizes of the shapes and the relationships to each other. Alright, time to start painting. So I'll get myself some water. And looking at my chart that I created, the Zorn palette, I definitely wanted to use cadmium red here. And I've done a lot of these paintings in various color schemes, but I haven't done a lot of them in red or a limited palette. First off, I'm just start with the most intense color, and I just bounce around the paper, filling in the shapes that I feel like intuitively should be red. And then I subsequently start adding in different shades of that same color. So here I mixed up some white, and I'm just throwing down a lighter shade. Again, just wherever my eye goes to, whatever I think will look good. Always knowing I can cover this up. It dries really fast. If I don't like something, I can easily change it. And I don't know, this is a really fun exercise for me. I just enjoy putting the paint down. Also, just note there's no light source in this painting. Every painting is abstract, but in this case we're pushing that abstraction, and I'm just putting paint in lighter colors and darker colors wherever I see fit, having no light source at all in mind. I may end up trying to add a light source one day. I've never actually tried to do that with an abstract face painting. That could be interesting. I think about that from time to time. So this is where experimenting with the Zorn palette has really started to pay off. I would have probably never thought to add a touch of yellow, and later you'll see I add a touch of black to shift the shades of the colors that I'm working with, and I think you can actually get a pretty dramatic effect just by adding a trace of these colors. So check this out. So now I'm just basically filling in the whole piece using the same 3 or 4 colors, technically: white, cadmium red, ivory black, and yellow ochre. I mean, primarily cadmium red, only using trace amounts of the yellow ochre and the black. Once I've gotten most of the painting covered in one layer of paint, I'll start to overlap areas. So I'll take some of the same colors that I've been using and just put some on top of others to create contrast and more interest and build up texture. Part of that process, I'll start to use a thinner liner brush to create some nice line work around the edges of the shapes. I like to do this with usually a lighter color and a darker color, not necessarily pure white, even though it might look like it in this video. It's usually got a little bit of color added, as well as the black later is not a pure black, although it might translate that way. So at this point I'm feeling pretty good about where it is. It's pretty much what I expected. And this last little part is always the most fun for me. Going back over with this darker color is really satisfying. You can really start to see things come to life. Part of me feels like this formula at some point is going to get old and I'm going to want to do something different. I still feel the need to keep exploring this style and pushing it further and sort of exhaust it before I can move on to something new. Yeah, so a big thanks to everyone who has liked and subscribed, and probably more importantly, given me some good feedback. I don't think anyone's hit the notification bell yet, so you could be the first. Yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I am working to try and get better at it. So thanks again for everyone's support. I really appreciate it.